Welcome to Fabulous Women Over 40, hosted by celebrity stylist Kara Allan. Join Kara as she interviews amazing women, sometimes younger and amazing men as well, in their 40s and beyond. Here's Kara with our Fabulous Woman of the Day.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Fabulous Women Over 40 podcast. I'm your host, Kara Allan, a personal stylist and branding expert with over 22 years of experience helping women and men create powerful presences through their appearance. This podcast is dedicated to celebrating the incredible women over 40 and men who are redefining what it means to be fabulous at any age. Today's guest is someone who's transforming lives by imagining what modern medicine can truly look like. I'm thrilled to welcome Dr. Girish Kalva, a board-certified physician in internal and obesity medicine with over 25 years of experience helping people reclaim their health from the inside out. But what makes Dr. Kalva truly stand out is his integrative approach rooted in functional medicine, a practice that looks beyond symptoms to identify and treat the root cause of illness. His toolkit is as expansive as it is thoughtful, using functional and genetic testing, IV therapy, Ayurvedic practices, nutrition, holistic remedies, and powerful lifestyle shifts to support his patients in achieving vibrant, lasting health. Dr. Kalva is deeply passionate about describing unnecessary medications where possible and guiding patients towards the life of vitality, self-care, and freedom from chronic illness, naturally and sustainably. His areas of focus include weight loss, metabolic health, women's health and hormone health, men's health, anti-aging, chronic fatigue, and lifestyle medicine, all through a truly personalized lens. His mission, to help you feel empowered in your body and experience a level of health that lasts. So if you've ever felt frustrated with Band-Aid medicine, or you're curious about how you can reclaim your energy and wellness through deeper healing, you're going to love this conversation. Let's dive into this inspiring, insightful journey with Dr. Girish Kalva. So happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
So I met you a few weeks ago at the Pathways, and I was so inspired because you had a wealth of knowledge. You just were so helpful and answered every question anybody had, and our minds were blown. So I was like, I have to have you on. So for those of you who don't know, can you share a little bit about your background and what led you to specialize in functional medicine and weight loss?
So originally I did medical school in India. Then I practiced a few places in India, then went to the Caribbean islands of Jamaica, where I worked there for 3 years. And I saw what second world, third world medicine is all about. Then I came and did my residency in Brooklyn, New York. Then I joined a hospital job, taking care of very, very sick patients in the hospital and ICU and stuff for 8 to 10 years. After that, I did 10 years in the nursing home, looking at patients, how they live in the nursing home, how sick they are, how they never get out of nursing homes when they're on long-term care. And lastly, for the last 7 years, I've overlapped this with functional medicine, where I realized that all these 20 years of practice that I've did, nobody got better. I was just giving them pills. They were living. That is no meaning to life. And me as a doctor questioned myself and said, okay, these people are taking medications. They're eating whatever they want to eat. I'm never getting them healthy. They're coming back to the hospital. They're coming back to the ICU. They continue smoking. They continue drinking. They continue to eat an unhealthy diet. So I'm technically not healing anybody. I'm preventing them from getting worse. So it's like a gushing water, and I'm just acting like a dam, but the floods are there. The water is there overflowing the dam, and there's nothing I can do for it. So the last 7 years has been searching myself, trying to find out how I can deprescribe medicines, how I can make people eat healthy, how I can change their lifestyles, how I can motivate them. And I found out that functional medicine and making people lose weight is where all the money lies. Because when you are overweight and inflamed, please remember that all obesity is not inflammation. If you are obese and inflamed, then that can lead to a lot of metabolic problems like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, as well as autoimmune disease, which is there in 1 in 3 Americans right now. We are suffering from a pandemic of not just COVID. We have a pandemic of diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, cancer that has been going on, and doctors are just acting as stopgaps. We're not reversing. That is my biggest goal. And functional medicine is where the root cause evaluation happens, where we can literally go to the root and show to each patient what's wrong with them and how we can use all these natural ways to clean up the body and get them healthy.
Nice. I like that. So in the experience of that last 7 years, what are most of the root causes that people overlook when it comes to stubborn weight or inability to lose weight?
The most important is your gut and your hormones.
Mm-hmm.
If your gut hormones are not fixed, you can do anything you want in terms of lifestyle, exercise, eating healthy, sleeping properly. If your gut is not doing good and if your hormones are not in place, you cannot fix things.
Hmm. So what do people do, and how would they know that their gut is the problem? You know what I mean?
Yes, such a loaded question. So gut is our window to our health. Imagine a banana where you make it inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So the outside part of the skin is our skin. The
Right.
inside part of the banana, the peel, is our gut. So
Mm.
inside our gut, we have to have everything flowing smoothly from the mouth to the bottom. We
Mm-hmm.
have to have clean stomach acid. We have to have good pancreatic juice, good bile, and good digestive enzymes. All have to work in like an orchestra for our digestion to happen. So we have to add on top of this healthy food, clean protein, clean carbs, clean fats. And when you're eating this, the body absorbs these wonderful nutrients and
Mm-hmm.
creates a music called life. And whatever is something that we don't need is discarded as poop. That is
Right.
gut. So if your gut is not working well, you'll have gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, but you can have memory problems, fatigue, anxiety, depression, eczema, psoriasis. The list is endless. I'll give you a
Mm-hmm.
simple example. An average woman in America applies 500 cosmetics in a day. And a lot of women and men, for that matter, fear looking older. Crow's feet, wrinkles, aging, all of these. If we all just stop consuming cow's milk, you will stop aging. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that is never talked in mainstream circles because unfortunately we are controlled by food industry, and the food industry will make sure that they give deceptive claims and say that this is not going to happen. So all these thousands and billions of dollars people are spending on skin creams, botox, skin lotions, face surgery, plastic surgery. You just stop consuming milk and you can stop aging of your skin, stop looking old, the wrinkles go away, the inflammation goes away, the body's reaction to dairy products goes away. That's a simple nutshell example of what we can do to stop aging in terms of food, as an example.
Mm-hmm. So, but what about all the other types of milk, like the almond and the oat milk and the soy? Like what 2%? Like,
So plant-based milks are fine as long as you do them in moderation. When you talk about cow's milk, there's whole milk, which is 5% fat. There's 2% and 1%. Please don't consume 2% milk and 1% milk because God did not make it.
mm,
People don't understand how 2% milk, no fat milk is made. 2% milk is made by pulling out 5% fat and adding in 2%. That changes the entire molecular structure of how milk is made. So when you're putting this foreign product into your body, which our body is not used to, and as adults, we all lose our ability to digest milk. First of all, you can't digest milk. Second, is going to make you inflamed. Third, 2% is not recognized as a God-given product. So all this together gives you so much autoimmunity and inflammation, and you keep doing it every day with cheese and milk and yogurt, thinking that it's healthy because the industry told you so. You're talking all kinds of problems: breast cancer, prostate cancer, obesity, high cholesterol, eczema, asthma, iron deficiency, zinc deficiency, autoimmunity, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. I can just go on and on just with milk for the next 1 hour. Next for the next 1 hour. Yeah.
so then, God, all right. So then, what about like I've heard you talked about oat milk, and so what's the deal with oat milk too?
Oat milk is fine, but I'm all about label. I have the last 7 years when I studied nutrition. I am having an eagle's eye for reading labels.
Mm-hmm.
Oats are chopped on the same machines as wheat is chopped.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go into the market and look for organic oat milk products because if it's oats and they're chopped on the machines that wheat is chopped,
Mm-hmm.
the oats are full of Roundup, which is glyphosate. So basically, you're drinking concentrated glyphosate if you're drinking oat milk.
Mm.
I don't want to go into brands because that is a legal purview. I would suggest if you're not buying organic oat milk, don't drink oat milk.
Yeah.
Same goes for almond milk. Almonds are very, very high in pesticides when they are farmed. So if you don't buy organic almond milk, please don't drink it. Soy milk, same story. If it's not organic, you're consuming Roundup again because all crops in America have to be sprayed with pesticides and Roundup prevent bugs from eating the plants, right? So we make a lot of corn, we make a lot of soy, we make a lot of beets. So there's so much of this product all over the country that we are farming, and to get massive amount of returns for the farming that the farmers do, and to get the returns on the money, they are sprayed with pesticides. So what the farmer does is not what we do in our house. We don't know all that, and we consume all this unknowingly, thinking that we're eating clean food. So try to buy organic as much as you can,
Right.
especially plant-based milks.
Cheese. Okay. So then what about cheese? Like, how do you eat? What kind of cheese should you eat that's not
So
messed up?
the problem I just told you. So you have to go back to the cow. First of all, cow's milk is for cows, not for humans. Number one. Number two, we all lose our ability to digest milk by the age of 17 to 18. It's an enzyme called lactase. So humans are not supposed to consume milk. I don't know how many of you saw the movie Ferdinand. I want you to go see Ferdinand. And look at all the people who consume a lot of meat and dairy products. They look just like cows.
Oh,
I don't know if you see that. They look
that's a
like cows.
word right there.
Yeah. So the sad part is the hormones in milk when the cows are being fed is coming from soy and corn. But the soy and corn is sprayed with Roundup. So the cow is eating Roundup,
Yeah.
making milk, and we are drinking the Roundup indirectly. So that is where the problem comes. And cows are given hormones, which is called RBGH. RBGH is a hormone. Now the media and the industry, everything will say RBGH is a cow's hormone, but nothing will happen to us. But the cow's hormone makes hormone-laden milk, which we are giving to our children, which is giving kids a lot of problems because these hormones are not something we are not supposed to have.
Right.
It's not. It's an animal hormone designed to make a cow make more milk. 100 years ago, a cow used to milk 1,000 gallons a year. Now it makes 6,000 gallons a year. How is that possible?
Yeah, that's not normal.
There you go.
God.
Please understand that cheese is concentrated milk. And if you're consuming cheese, like if you're consuming one, like a half, or like say 100 ounce of cheese, or like 10 ounce of cheese, there is 10 times amount of milk that has to be converted into cheese products. So basically, cheese is a milk bomb, a concentrated milk bomb. And you're consuming conventional cheese, which is very, very high in salt, fat, calories, hormones. It's basically a concentrated bomb, just like yogurt, causing breast cancer, prostate cancer, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and also inflammation in the gut.
So it's all killing us and making us fat, basically.
In other words, indirectly said, these are all chronic inflammatory markers. If anybody is listening to this podcast, I want them to understand one thing. It is called cumulative toxicity. Can you repeat that for me?
Cumulative toxicity.
You got it. So cumulative toxicity is how the industry works. For example, if I drink a diet soda today, it's not going to kill me, right?
Right.
If I drink it for a week, it's not going to kill me. So it's a little bit of poison over 20, 30 years that's killing us. It's a little bit of milk and a little bit of cheese every day that's killing us, that's destroying our health. And that is what the industry goes by. It's poison, but it's very little. So you have to consume it continuously, like, Roundup sprayed wheat, pesticide-laden food, pesticide-laden vegetables. It won't give you a cancer tomorrow. You have to keep doing it constantly for the body to say, you know what? I had enough.
Yeah.
Start fighting this and makes antibodies and say the cells go cancerous, and then our body stops detoxing. Then automatically autoimmune disease, obesity, failure of hormones, inflammation, and that leads to cancer.
Wow. So then what's our remedy?
The remedy is to eat clean, try to go gluten-free and dairy-free as much as you can. Now, people talk about diets. My suggestion, try to ration your meat, dairy, and milk, as well as your grains, to as little as possible.
Okay.
Mediterranean diet is focusing more on fruits and vegetables, nuts, healthy oils, a little bit of meat, a little bit of grain, a little bit of dairy.
Yeah.
And that dairy should be fermented, preferably yogurts, or a little bit of cheese. I would say maybe 3 servings of cheese a month, 3 servings of yogurt a month. And when it comes to processed red meat, complete no, because processed red meat causes colon cancer.
Oh, like bacon and ham and things.
Yes. So try to avoid that. Try to avoid burgers, hot dogs, bacon, and all these, and go for grass-fed meat. Try to use grass-fed meat, pasture-raised chicken, pasture-raised eggs. So these are all clean products which you can consume in minimal quantities, and try to do predominantly vegetables and fruits, not fruits too much, predominantly vegetables. I would put it as 70% vegetables, 20% fruits, 10% grains, that's 80%, and the rest of the 10% is water and 10% is meat.
So what about goat cheese and goat milk? Is that an alternative
It
too?
is less toxic than cow's milk, but
Okay.
goat milk is again for goats. It's not as toxic. There still are, hormones and pesticides, put in and to the feeding the goats and stuff. It's pasture raised goats. To find pasture raised goats and to have them give pasture raised milk, goat milk, is kind of tough. My suggestion: you can consume it in small quantities. It's still okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now hormones have been a hot topic lately, especially for women in their 40s and 50s. How do hormonal imbalances affect weight loss, and what steps can people take to rebalance naturally?
Wonderful topic. It's a loaded question. So let me start saying that my predominant practice is all about hormones.
Mm-hmm.
I fix off hormones for all women. 9 out of 10 of my patients have hormone issues. Either they are coming with excess weight or without excess weight.
Mm-hmm.
They're healthy, they're at a clean place, the gut is fine, they're detoxing well, they can start hormones right away.
Okay.
This starts in perimenopause. Perimenopause starts for women age of 35. All women start losing their progesterone at the age of 35.
Wow.
All women start losing their estrogen at 50. So women have two menopauses, progesterone and estrogen.
Great.
The progesterone is the mini menopause. And when you lose progesterone, you get anxiety, depression, insomnia, fatigue. This is very commonly used by women to go to a psychiatrist, to a primary care doctor, to their OBGYN, and they get on antidepressants. All these antidepressants do is they kill more hormones. They cause weight gain, and they cause a lot of long-term problems when you take antidepressants, especially SSRIs and things like that. If they don't take these drugs, instead try progesterone at a small dose or a cream, they can take care of their depression, a lot of their issues that happen between 30 and 35 and 50. Once you get closer to 45, your second half of the cycle gets shorter, which is like really, really low progesterone, where you'll have 7 days between your ovulation and your cycle. So your cycles go from 28 days to 23 days. It's common in perimenopause, again, more closer when you get to 50. That means most of your progesterone is empty, is gone. And then you start replacing progesterone even more aggressively. And then you start replacing estrogen based on if you have low estrogen symptoms. So all of the women patients I have, I always recommend, please come to a healthy weight before you start yourself on hormones, because the biggest, most dangerous hormone produced by white fat, which is unhealthy fat, is called estrone. Estrone is a kind of estrogen that causes breast cancer, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer. So if you are obese and overweight and have too much estrone, you're estrogen dominant, to add an oral contraceptive or a hormone IUD is even more dangerous. To take oral contraceptives or a hormone IUD when you're obese or overweight, you have to be very careful to watch where this estrone is going, because if you're taking oral contraceptives, that can convert to estrone. So too much of estrone is not necessary for women, and that can cause breast, ovarian, endometrial cancer in women. In men who are obese and have belly fat, their bellies is where their testosterone is converted to estrone, which gives men prostate cancer. Going back to your original question, you always have to remember that you get to a healthy weight, exercise, eat a clean diet, stay away from grains, dairy, and processed meat, eat as much clean vegetables as you can, and then you can do bioidentical hormones, which every woman needs after 50. There's a very famous saying, women have to carry their bioidentical hormones to their grave. Because till 50, how much powerful women are, with strong bones, strong mind, taking care of the family, being breadwinners, taking care of jobs, professions, careers. They're multitasking all the time. They can do so many things. That all this is from the beautiful estrogen called estradiol. Estradiol is the good estrogen. Estrone is the bad estrogen. And there's a baby estrogen, which is called estriol, which is very, very important for vaginal dryness, topical issues. And it is very, very safe, and it's very important in pregnancy and stuff like that to maintain the baby in the uterus. So the good estrogens are estradiol and estriol. The bad estrogen is estrone. So in essence, after 50, you all have to be on bioidentical hormones. In 2002, 2003, there were studies that said that hormones cause cancer. Now there are a lot of studies coming saying that women need to take hormones no matter what. We have destroyed all these women between 50 and 75 and 80 for the last 20 years, depriving them of their hormones that they needed, which is a hot topic nowadays.
Yeah, because remember I talked to you about getting on them, and I was I was kind of doing this because I had heard that they were, and I'm like, I don't want to cause any more problems, but I did get on the patch. So that seems to be, the hot flashes went away right away when I got on the patch. So that seems to be working.
Thank God. There you go. Good. You're supporting your bones, brain, heart, skin, all of them with the estrogen patch, not just your hormones.
Mm.
Estrogen receptors are present in every single cell of your body, from your hair to the brain to the eyes to the tongue to the heart to the gut to the ovaries. You have estrogen receptors in every single cell of your body.
Wow.
In functional medicine, we have a basic problem called leaky gut. You probably heard about leaky gut.
Yeah.
Women in menopause have leaky gut because
One
their
more
gut
problem.
wall is supposed to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when menopause is over and they lose their estrogen, their gut becomes leaky and you have these gaps. So
Mm-hmm.
once you get your hormones placed, your gut becomes rock solid and very tight. There are no gap junctions. There's no leaky gut.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's a plus.
Yes.
So when we're talking about weight loss now, we know it's not just physical, it's emotional and psychological too. So how do you approach mindset and behavior changes with your patients as well?
So I do a lot of motivational stuff from childhood. Let me say that I have been motivating a lot of people in my home, and though I have been a doctor, I've been more like a motivational guy, almost to the point of becoming a pastor someday. I felt like maybe I should be a pastor and
Right.
start talking to people in churches and temples and hospitals and say, "Hey guys, let's start eating healthy," because the impact factor is what matters. If I have one person an hour to see in my office and I tell them, please eat healthy, I'm making impact one person per hour.
Right.
I only a week. If I have a 40-hour week and I'm only taking care of 40 people, there's not much impact factor. So through podcasts like you and amazing people like you, I get to get this message to a lot more people. I get to get my message through. I'll tell you one thing. There's no purpose of living long while you're inflamed and sick.
Yeah.
I would rather live long and live healthy rather than live long and live unhealthy. The
Right.
reason is there is the food industry and the pharma industry and the drug industry. They're all doing this for a reason, which is not their fault. It's all money. It's a money
Yeah.
game. I don't want to go into the politics of it. The answer is we as humans are guinea pigs for all these industries.
Mhm.
And they make us victims by making us prey on our stress. Stress is the biggest problem our planet faces right now.
Mhm.
And stress comes from work, kids, family, parents, siblings. It doesn't matter. The reasons could be different. Could be a job too.
Mhm.
When stress is there, you reach for things that give you comfort. That is where the industry thrives. And that
Mhm.
includes caffeine, alcohol, sugar, grains. People don't understand that sugar is 10 times more addictive than cocaine.
Mhm.
Same goes for gluten from wheat. Imagine the tasty, yummy sourdough bread. All bread is so tasty. The moment they're baking, you smell it and you want to eat it. Sugar and bread are in the same class, and next goes caffeine.
Mhm.
So we humans, when we get stressful, we reach out for food as a comfort. And
Yeah.
now food is everywhere in our country. There's no place or that we don't have food. And the second thing we do is electronics. When you're using electronics, it's an addiction, like doom scrolling and looking at social media, of your appearance, physical things. So when we're doing all this, we we just basically make ourselves lose our cortisol. When you
Mhm.
lose cortisol, you're eating constantly. That is where stress causes weight gain.
Yeah.
The second thing is leaky gut, which causes weight gain. The third thing is lack of sleep, which causes weight gain. We take cell phones to our bedrooms, put them near our head, and we're watching phones till we go to bed.
Mhm.
But our eyes are thinking it's broad daylight at 11:30 p.m. and you're having this bright lit camera phone on front of your eyes, but it's supposed to be bedtime at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but nobody's sleeping at 10 o'clock. So when you
Right.
do all this, you're changing the entire hormonal environment in your body, making you susceptible for food cravings, which the industry is just taking advantage of.
Yeah.
So in functional weight loss, I motivate people to change their habits first.
Mhm.
Walking after meals, drinking apple cider vinegar, sleeping on time, putting red light filters on their phones, try to do yoga, try to do meditation, try to do earthing. We have to do everything we can to stimulate our vagus nerve, which calms our body.
Mhm.
The moment you're in stress, you're ready for that cup of coffee. You're ready for that fast food bar. You're ready for that sugar French fries. You're ready for the snack that's sitting next to you. Now remember, there is no healthy snack, okay? Healthy snacks don't come with a nutrition label. If you see a nutrition label on a snack, you're not buying it. That is my suggestion for my weight loss patients.
Well, okay. So what lifestyle shifts outside of diet and exercise have the biggest impact on sustainable healthy weight loss?
Walking is very important. Walking and standing. So if you sit down, you burn 30 calories an hour. I'm giving an approximation. If you stand, you burn 70 calories an hour. So try to use a standing desk at work. Give a 45-minute timeout on yourself to get out of the chair. We are sitting 13 hours a day. An average working person in urban cities in the country and anywhere in the urban cities in the world is sitting between the sofa in front of the TV, dining table in the kitchen, work office hours, train, bus, or car. We are sitting for 13 hours. And there is 6 hours of sleep. That's 19 hours with 5 hours left. So if you're sitting for 13 hours, if you don't take 10 to 15-minute break every hour, sitting is smoking pretty much. So stop sitting, start walking. Number 2 is sleeping at 10 if you can. I know it's impossible to sleep at 10. Please start working towards it. If you're sleeping at midnight, start at 11 o'clock. Then slowly go to 10:30 and slowly sneak into 10 in a couple of months. That has a maximum impact factor. Try to get up early morning, get the sun. Walk out to your veranda, walk out to your backyard, walk out to your window. Get the fresh sun for 30 minutes into your eyes, and then automatically the clocks will reset within few months.
Okay.
The next greatest impact thing is to stop snacking. 100 years ago, there was no snacking on our planet. Our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers went to the farm. They did their farming. They had a lunch box with them. They would eat their lunch, or they would come home and eat, go back to the farm, finish their farming, come back, and there's no TV, there's no lights, so they would just eat their dinner and then chit chat and go to bed.
Right.
If you go to blue zones in the world, like in Southern California, Greece, in Okinawa, in Japan, and there are some places in Europe, there are places where people don't watch TV. They socialize, they communicate, they talk with each other, they sleep by dark, and they get up in the morning. They start doing their things. The longer you exercise, the longer you sleep early, the lesser you snack. That's where weight loss is easy peasy to do in easy words. So when you snack, you're basically making your gut constantly produce so much inflammatory markers. Every time you eat, your body has to slow down, your gut has to slow down. So this is causing so much damage to the bodies.
Right. Well, so sleep does get overlooked, right? Because everybody's stressed out and they're doom scrolling or they're working or whatever. So how does poor sleep affect weight loss, and what tips do you give to the patients to improve their sleep hygiene?
So first, sleep is a loan. You don't own your sleep. If you're paying a mortgage, the loan works the same way. So if you're not sleeping your 7.5 hours as an adult and 11 hours as an infant, 9 hours as a teenager, then you're basically you're living on borrowed time. And cancer is extremely common in shift workers. They studied thousands of nurses, people who shift work night and day shifts, day and night shifts. Like nurses do nights and then do days, then do nights, then do days. Within 20 years, they're all 50, 60 pounds heavier. They're prone to all these cancers. So please don't compromise on sleep. Please don't change your sleep patterns. There is no sleep catch up. You sleep for 6 hours on weekdays and 9 hours on weekends. That will not give you any bonus points. That's number 2. Number 3, sleep increases your hunger 10 times the next day. Number 4, everybody who's obese or overweight has sleep apnea. So go get yourself checked for a sleep apnea. So sleep study can be done. Home-based sleep study is $100 with cash. If you ask your primary care doctor, they can order a sleep study for you. You don't need to go to a hotel or a sleep lab to do the testing. Number 5, you have to put a red light filter. I'll spell it out for you. F.LUX, flux. There's a free app on Google. If you download that app and you just use it for dark room, once it is 7:30, you put your Flux app on your phones or laptops or desktops, the computer screen goes red. It becomes dark. It doesn't have to stimulate your retinas. It will not mess up your sleep cycles. So please do that, and please download the app. Next one you got to do is shut your Wi-Fi router at night. You cannot have your Wi-Fi on at night. Electromagnetic radiation causes severe sleep disturbances. So find out where your router is, go and unplug it. Unless you have a security system hooked to it, I would recommend simply go and unplug the router. When you get up in the morning, plug it back in. The next thing, do not eat dinner 4 hours before you sleep. Sleep is like a chore for your body. If you're eating at 8:30 and going to bed at 10 o'clock, you're going to cause massive acid reflux, sleep apnea, asthma, airway problems, digestion issues, inflammation, high insulin, and cancer. Please learn to eat early. Please learn to eat by 6 o'clock. That also will improve significant amount of your sleep. Next, you got to make sure that you're not having large dinners and fasting for morning and afternoon. People have changed this way of eating lately. They skip breakfast, they skip lunch, and go eat a massive dinner. Our body makes insulin predominantly when the sun is shining, not when the sun is, setting. So if you're eating all your calories after dark, be ready for cancer. So these are the things you can do to improve your sleep.
So what's one major myth of all those things that you were just talking about that people misunderstand about health and wealth and
The major myth is they think that it's not going to happen to me and I can do whatever I want. For example, I'll say intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is super healthy. Please don't get me wrong. But people who have thyroid problems should not do intermittent fasting. And people have tweaked intermittent fasting to their own comfort. Like they'll say, oh, I eat nothing except dinner. That is not how it works. When you are not eating breakfast, you're having a huge protein deficit for the rest of the day. You're snacking unnecessarily. You're deprived of cortisol, because our cortisol is a fat sourced hormone. If you don't get healthy fats into your body in the morning and protein, how will you make cortisol for the day? You're driving your empty car with an empty tank on caffeine and sugar till dinner. And the dinner, you have this massive meal and you sit and watch TV, you're going nowhere. So the myth is basically intermittent fasting is healthy and I can do whatever I want and eat one meal a day and stay healthy forever. It doesn't work. There's no one size fits all, unfortunately.
Right. So if somebody's just starting their weight loss journey today, what's 3 simple things changes that you think would make a really big impact for them?
Beautiful question. It doesn't take thousands of dollars. It's simple things I would recommend for them to do. First is to start doing apple cider vinegar before meals.
Okay.
If they are not having severe acid reflux, apple cider vinegar has no side effects. If your 2 tablespoons doesn't cut it, start with 1 tablespoon. Don't drink it raw. It'll leach your teeth. Put it in a cup of water. My favorite brand is Bragg's. Sorry, full disclosure. There are no other brands that are clean, as much as I can know. Take 2 tablespoons of 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Drink in a cup of water. Drink it right before breakfast, right before lunch, right before dinner. That's number 1. Number 2, you can go to Amazon and buy a magnesium oil topical spray.
Yes.
Just use that spray, 6 sprays on each leg, in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. This bottle is $12, but it's worth its weight in gold. Just by doing apple cider vinegar and a magnesium spray. And if you stop snacking and eat 3 proper meals and avoid gluten and dairy and red meat as much as you can, you will lose 10 pounds in 2 months. That's my challenge to you.
Okay.
Just do these 2 things.
That's pretty big. 10 pounds in 2 months?
Yes. You don't have to do any magical supplements, no semaglutide, no Ozempic. You just do basic lifestyle changes that I told you in the last 20 minutes and do these 3 things. If you're losing 10 pounds, that means your thyroid is working fine. If you did not lose any weight, then you need to see an integrative doctor or a functional medicine doctor like me and get your thyroid checked. I'll give you an example. People are buying semaglutide, Ozempic, Mounjaro online, and they're getting their shots. They're trying to play with the shots. They're sharing the shots in the family. They're sharing the bottles. They're giving it to friends and cousins. That's okay, because they all want to lose weight.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything else other than that. If you're trying to eat less of junk food using semaglutide, once the moment you stop it, you're going to gain all the weight back.
Yeah.
If you're using all these peptides, which are Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and Zepbound, without changing your diet and lifestyle and your sleep and your social media addiction and your addiction for caffeine and sugar and doing intermittent fasting, you will not lose any weight, because intermittent fasting is very, very stressful on your body. It raises cortisol, it depletes your nutrients, it raises your reverse T3, it goes against your body, especially if you do it for longer durations.
Yeah. My friend was telling me she was doing like 50 hours a couple of weeks ago, and I'm thinking like, what are you doing that for? Like, what is it supposed to do?
It'll help, but not in the long run. It's like keto diet. It'll work for 2-3 months. After that, you'll stop. Keto diets and intermittent fasting will work only for the first 20 pounds. Now, people will say, "Oh, I lost 40." Yes, you will lose 40. I'll give you the answer. If you're 270, you will get to 230.
Mm,
If you're 170, you will lose only 20.
mm,
So there is no one size fits all. People will try to put questions into what I'm trying to tell you because there's no number. What
yeah.
I'm telling you is keto diets and intermittent fasting will get you only so far. After
Mm.
that, you will plateau there forever.
God.
You will not lose after that. If your goal is 50 and you do intermittent fasting, you lose 20, sure. And you
Yeah.
won't lose the other 30 no matter what you do. That is the problem with long term doing these without supervision or without understanding how your body works, especially your hormones, which was your original question. How does hormones affect your body's weight and health and longevity?
Right. And so I know you work with a lot of high-powered professionals who are really super busy. So what is your favorite time-saving strategies for them who feel like they don't have time to get healthy? I mean, you have time to live, right? Or you're going to have time to die. Either
Yes.
way, you got to figure it out. But
So when you say time saving strategy in terms of what? In what context?
well, somebody who's working, I don't know, 12 hours a day and they don't have a lot of time to get in. I mean, not that you have to do 2 hours at the gym, but you got to get some walking in or something somewhere. Like, what's your recommendations for them who they just have these long days and then they're maybe having problems fitting in a good meal somewhere or they're eating on the run a lot? Like, what do you suggest for somebody like that?
So when people come to functional weight loss with me, I've done it for 7 years.
Hmm.
Just for the sake of documentation, I've made people lose 13,000 pounds in the last 7 years.
That's
I am
great.
not trying to brag about it. The point is, we are all drowned with stress, and today's
Right.
economy and politics and everything is causing people to work, overwork, continuously work, pay bills, inflation, and all these
Yeah.
problems. They come. There's no like tomorrow. So if you're trying to lose weight and keep it off, you got to take care of your body.
Mm.
The first priority is start loving yourself. If you love yourself and you can give a 10-minute break after each meal, you deserve it. If
Mm-hmm.
your boss says immediately after lunch, I need to have a meeting, sure. Then eat your lunch 15 minutes before your meeting
Mm.
so that you have that window to go and take that walk and come back.
Mm-hmm.
So don't eat your lunch and run into the meeting and sit in a chair from
Yeah.
one chair to another chair. Same goes for breakfast. If you're eating on the run, that's fine. So if you have a car and you're driving to work, you're getting out of bed, taking your breakfast in the car, then you get out and you're going back to the office. Try to park the car a little far away. So
Mm-hmm.
at least you're walking inside into your office.
Right.
Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. So that got my 15 minutes in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you get my 15 minutes before your meeting in the lunch, meeting after lunch. And at dinner, there's no excuse. You're coming home, you're eating dinner. There's nobody troubling you unless you have to drop off kids and take them to sports. Then the kid is inside doing the taekwondo, karate, music, piano. You go do your walk.
Yeah.
So try to walk after each meal to lose weight, and that is a very, very healthy thing to do.
At least 30 minutes, you think, after meals or
15 minutes is more than enough.
okay.
If you
That's
do
not
3,000 steps with after each meal, that is more than enough. And for
3,000.
supplements and meals, I want people to understand one thing. You see all these instant meals being offered online nowadays. People have no time to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So either they're eating fast food or they're getting their prep meals to eat at home. The
Right.
biggest problem with all this is the plastics.
Yeah.
Plastics cause obesity. Plastics cause cancer. So when you're wrapping this food in plastic, eating in plastic, microwave in plastic, cooking in plastic, scraping in plastic,
A lot.
you're eating plastic pretty much.
Yeah.
And we are giving this to our kids too. So if you're eating, cooking, cook on Sunday, make your Sunday your meal prep day.
Mm-hmm.
Make 14 boiled eggs, make an Instapot full of black beans, make all your chicken and get it ready.
Mm-hmm.
Get all your veggie salads into like 5 salad boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Meal prep on Sunday. Once you meal prep on Sunday, your chances of eating breakfast and lunch outside drops by 50 to 70%. Dinner, you're coming home anyway.
Yeah.
Then you have no choice, but you have to cook for the family, cook for yourself. the more fast food you eat, the more cancer you're going to get, the more diabetes you're going to get, because nobody's cooking your food in olive oil. Nobody's cooking your food in organic avocado oil.
Right.
We're going to use the cheapest ingredients because the businesses have to make money. We cannot fault them.
Yeah.
Okay? Fast food. That's why it's
Yeah.
called fast food.
It's true.
The more fast food you eat, the more leaky gut you get.
Oh, God. So, yeah.
Well,
Well,
make small changes. Yeah.
this is positive and depressing at the same time. Just say it.
It's hard. It's hard. Living clean is hard nowadays. It's very hard.
Are there any emerging trends or breakthroughs in a functional medicine right now that are exciting to you, especially related to weight loss or metabolic health?
I would say things happen every day. There are a lot of beautiful things coming our way. There are a lot of supplements. My mantra for weight loss is I take this unhealthy, overweight, or obese person. Within a year, I want them in sports attire, running all day long, gymming all day long while they're doing their jobs, the same jobs. Because once you lose your weight, there's this popular thing that says that you're going to gain it all back. It's going to happen. Once you stop your peptides, you're going to get your appetite. All that is true. But in functional weight loss, you're trying to evaluate the root cause problems. You're going to evaluate why you're stressed, what's causing your stress. I have made people change jobs in my weight loss program.
Yeah.
If their job is toxic, they have to stop it. If there's a toxic relationship, that relationship goes away. If they're in a toxic environment, the toxic environment has to change. The cosmetics have to be, soaps have to be changed. The shampoos have to change. It is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's going to happen slowly. So my suggestion for people is make slow changes, but the changes should be permanent. And in functional medicine, we have 15 different supplements that can help with weight loss, but they are useless if they don't make lifestyle changes.
It's true. Oh, so one other thing, I just found out about this app. It's called Function, I believe it's called. So do
Function
you know about these, and like what role do these play in the future of weight management? Are they helpful, do you find, or?
I agree with you that they are very helpful. They're very good for testing ourselves. Today's annual wellness check with your primary care doctor is a joke. It's a joke. 5-10 years ago, they used to do at least 6 or 7 labs. Now it's like 1 or 2 labs. No testing, no looking, because the insurance industry survives, thrives, and makes money on sick people, not on healthy people. Okay? So their job is to make sure that your disease goes undetected till it's full blown, till you end up on prescription drugs, so you keep taking them forever. Okay? So a sick patient is a good source of income for the insurance companies. I don't want to fault anybody here. All I'm saying is, if you don't take care of your health and don't do blood work, there's no use of blaming anybody. So companies like Function Health or my office or any functional medicine doctor or any holistic integrative medicine doctor who's doing a ton of labs, whether paying cash or through LabCorp or through insurance, please get them done. Because if you don't get a deep dive into your labs, you will not know what's happening to you. We treat Lyme, we treat mold, we treat weight loss, we do hormones. My basic labs, I have a lab corp in my office next door. My full panel is 18 to 22 tubes of blood when I draw them. 18 to 22 tubes.
That might take half of my blood out. What have any left?
So that is how much. These are tubes of blood. So this is like 3/4 the size of this pen. So, so the bottom line is, if you don't do tests, you won't understand what's happening to your body. And the labs that Western medicine does, and the numbers that are made as ratios, I have a lot of patients asking my question, but it's in the normal range. But it's in the normal range. It will be in the normal range. I'll give you an answer. If you don't do these lab tests, I'll give you the average times, okay? The average time for high blood pressure to be diagnosed by a doctor is how much? Make a guess.
Like age-wise or?
Time-wise.
Time-wise. And I don't know, in the morning?
How much long does a doctor take to diagnose high blood pressure if you have it?
It shouldn't take it at all, right? They take your blood pressure every time you come in the first thing.
It doesn't go high overnight. It takes time.
No, true, yeah. It's a slow uptick.
10 years.
10 years for them to figure that out?
It takes 10 years because hypertension has no symptoms. So you will have blood pressure, but you won't go to the doctor. You won't get a checkup. You won't check your blood pressure. So blood pressure, the onus is on you. So buy a blood pressure machine, keep it at home, check your blood pressure morning and night. Do it once in every Sunday. You don't have to do it every day. But if you're overweight, obese, eating unhealthy, check it every day. Same goes for diabetes. It takes 10 years for the doctor to say, you know what, we're done with that. I'm going to put you on insulin. We're done with that. I'm going to put you on metformin. I have seen illness through my own eyes in the ICU. Once you're full-blown diabetic, once you're full-blown hypertension with stroke or heart attacks, there's no going back.
Yeah.
You're stuck with drugs. And I'm somebody who wants to deprescribe drugs for the next 15 years of my life. So if you are somebody who's interested in reversing your lifestyle, clean eating, getting off prescription meds, you got to start with doing blood work and finding out what's wrong with you. I have a gentleman here coming the other day. He's about 60s, in his late 60s. He smoked, drank alcohol, he's unhealthy diet all his life. Now he came for a physical. I did his labs. I did a calcium score of his heart. Calcium score is done to check for risk of heart disease. The normal score is 0. His score came above 500. It was a wake-up call.
How's he still walking around at 500?
That has to happen and convert into heart blockages to give you a heart attack. So he, within 3 months, lost 12 pounds. No semaglutide, no Ozempic, no Mounjaro. He stopped alcohol, stopped tobacco, started eating healthy, cut down his grain, cut down his red meat. He's on a mission now to get himself healthy because he wants to live long. He wants to be a grandpa. He wants to see his grandkids. I have so many stories to tell you for my patients who are coming, because if you're not motivated to take care of your health, no doctor can help you. Forget about functional medicine. No practitioner, no dietitian, no nutritionist can help you if you don't have the desire and to love your body, to take care of your body. So please do blood tests. The answer for your question is yes.
Yeah.
Do as many tests as you want. Go for it. Have fun.
And also, one thing that I discovered a couple of years ago was red light therapy. What do you think about that? I even have this is my red light therapy light that I sit under sometimes when I'm sitting here.
Use it. Please use it. It is a fantastic way to stop aging. Red light therapy replaces sunlight. We have lost the ability to be outside to take regular sunlight based on our location, geography, clothing, temperature. So all of these are causing us a complete loss of our connection with sun and sunlight. So the red light that you're having helps you with exposing yourself to something called natural sunlight. So do 15 minutes every day. It prevents aging. It gets you to sleep. It prevents inflammation, lowers autoimmune disease, has so many benefits. I can just go on and on. Red light for just an hour. I'll give you the basic benefits. If you can afford it, buy a good red light for your home. Take off all your clothes. Ideally, you should be nude. If not, you can just be in your underwear, and sit down for 15 minutes. If it's one-sided, sit on your front for 7 minutes, sit on your back for 7 minutes. So your front of your body and back of your body is exposed to sunlight.
Nice.
To the red light, So just do that every day and don't do it more than that. And there are some studies that are still saying that for cancer patients, it might work, but that's still up in the air. But they're doing it for hair loss, they're doing it for wrinkles, they're doing it for face inflammation, they're looking for insomnia. People are just doing red light at bedtime and they're sleeping like babies at night.
Yeah. I have a whole bunch of them. I have this little mask over here.
The face one, the eyes one. There you go. Yeah. Those are wonderful devices. Please use red light and please use a clean device. And the beauty is, don't do red light therapy at bedtime and then go and watch a phone. There's no purpose in doing that. You're trying to put yourself to sleep and then you're opening your phone and studying and doing social media for 11 p.m. Then what's the benefit of doing that? If it's the last thing you're doing, do it and go to bed.
Right.
So definitely do it. Yes.
And then one other question I had too was about water. So your water intake. And I went and got my zero water filter, the one that sits on the counter. So I fill it up and I got my little cup here. So I'm drinking. How do you get to drink more water though? Because it's not a natural thing for me to drink it all the time. So I'm like struggling, but I'm trying to work on it.
Okay, good. There's a saying in Ayurveda, okay? Water should be consumed as a luxury. I'll define it for you. So you have to enjoy it like wine. So I'll tell you. Yes. First, the water has to be clean. So make sure it's clean, because the website ewg.org/tap water, if you go there, put in your zip code, it'll tell you how toxic the tap water is. It's all over the country. There's no clean water, potable water in the world. Forget about first world, second world, third world. Government can do only so much to protect us from water. The rest of the job lays on us as citizens to protect and drink clean water. Okay? So get your water filter, which is a good, clean brand. Don't buy Brita. Sorry, again, I'm talking brands. I'm not personally, I'm marketing any particular product or so, but Brita is not a great filter in what experience I've heard and what I've done the research on online. So look for that. Look for brands that are clean, and everybody finds their own clean brand. So get your water. Make sure it's in a glass container. Don't put it in a plastic container. Then you have to calculate your weight in pounds divided by 2 is the number of ounces you need. Let's make a simple calculation. Somebody is 200 pounds. The average weight in America is 170 pounds right now. Average weight in American weighs right now is 170 pounds for an adult. Well, let's say for 200 pounds, divide by 2 is 100 ounces of water. 100 ounces of water is a lot of water. Okay? When you're busy working at a desk for 12 to 13 hours and you have to go to the bathroom or you're driving and on the car, you will have a problem. So you have to find ways to sneak in this water away from your meals. Do not drink your water with your meals, because if you drink water with your meals more than 4 to 6 ounces, you're diluting your stomach acid, which is going to mess up your digestion, cause leaky gut. People eat pizza and drink soda. So they do that because soda is so acidic, it digests all the carbs and dairy and in cheese that comes from a pizza. But ideally speaking, if you have good stomach acid, your water has to be at least an hour and a half away from your meals. So I'll give you an example. Your breakfast is at 9, lunch is at 1, dinner's at 5, just for example. So 9, 1, 5 is your food. Your water should be 11, 3, and 7.
Okay. So don't drink it before, drink it after.
Correct.
Okay.
You can drink it before too. You can drink 30, 40 minutes before, like a couple of ounces to catch up on the 100 ounce of water.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 100 ounce, right? So as soon as you get up, get like 20 ounce done on an empty stomach. Drink warm water. Do not drink ice cold water. Mm-hmm. Ice cold water does a lot of damage to your body. People drink it all the time, especially when you get up in the morning. At least drink 10 to 20 ounces of warm water. Put a little lime in there. Put a little bit of turmeric or curcumin, an apple cider vinegar, a little bit of ginger. Make it only spice water. If you hate plain water, don't use all these water sweeteners, water flavoring agents. They're all toxic across the board. There's no clean water flavor. I've looked at it. I looked at all of them. Drink that in the morning. That got 20 ounces out. We got 80 left. So we can do 20 at 11, 20 at 3, 20 at 7. You can forget the last 20. I can live with that. I don't need 100 ounces of water. If you give me 80 ounces properly, away from your meals, and proper clean water that is not in plastics, not in a plastic water bottle, in your own stainless steel container, away from food, sitting and comfortably drinking like wine, then that is how you should drink water. Don't glug it down.
Don't chug it.
Don't chug it or glug it. No, don't. That's the answer for water for you.
So what do you think about like carbonated water, like Perrier? And
you can have carbonated water.
It's
if you're
fine.
buying it from a glass bottle, I'm okay with it. Don't buy Perrier in a plastic bottle.
Okay.
Because if you buy plastic water bottle, you're drinking plastic.
Yeah. I don't do the bottles. I do the aluminum cans.
Aluminum can is also cancer.
Yeah.
So if you're buying anything like flavored water, it's all sugar. They will say flavoring agent. They'll say colors. They'll say dyes. This flavoring industry has not been under leash since 1972. There are 72,000 chemicals, additives, colors, dyes in the market in the food right now that has no FDA supervision, approval, or oversight.
That's crazy.
So you're putting all these chemicals into your body, which can cause whatever it can. So please don't put all these water flavors. Put a little bit of lime. Put a little bit of Himalayan salt. Why don't you do God's own stuff? Yeah. And that is what you're doing.
Don't do all the extras.
No aluminum cans, no plastic water bottles, nothing related to thing. Buy a glass bottle. If you can't afford it, carry your own glass bottle, carry your own stainless steel water jug with you.
I have to find some glass bottles for Perrier, but I don't know that they do. I know Voss does glass bottles.
No, Perrier does glass. I used to drink it. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's true. They do.
Yeah, but the tall ones.
That's
the tall
true.
ones are the glass
ones too.
Yeah, they're the short ones too. Yeah, they sell it as a 6-pack, like a 6-pack. I think Perrier comes like that.
Yeah, we gotta change that up.
please, yeah.
So, and you were gonna mention something about the butterfly behind you. We talked about this before we got on.
So my favorite gland, which for hormones in my career, in my life, and my future goal is the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is in the neck. It's butterfly shaped, just like the butterfly behind me. So this gland is like a master switch for metabolism. 9 out of 10 people who are obese or overweight or inflamed have a thyroid problem. You could have thyroid problem directly with autoimmune disease damaging the thyroid, or you could have indirectly from iodine deficiency, inflammation. It can also come from toxins. It can as simple as tap water, fluoride in water. Say for example, you're a lifeguard in a swimming pool. There's chlorine in the pool, right? So if you work 20 years as a lifeguard, the chlorine in the swimming pool has destroyed your thyroid gland because it displaces the iodine. If somebody's drinking tap water with fluoride and all the toxins and pesticides that I just talked about 10 minutes ago, that is destroying your thyroid. So this guy is butterfly. Have you ever tried to touch a butterfly? You know, they fly away, or the
close
color
up.
comes off. The color comes off. The wings break easily. The butterfly loses its wings easily. It's a very gentle insect.
Yeah.
You have to hold it very gently to have the wings in your hand. The thyroid gland is equally sensitive to toxins. It is like a low-hanging fruit for autoimmune disease. So if you're consuming tons of gluten and dairy, if your gut is inflamed, be prepared for your thyroid to get destroyed from Hashimoto, which is an autoimmune thyroiditis. 1 in 3 women in the world have Hashimoto thyroiditis. 1 in 3. The other 2 have a thyroid problem, but they don't know about it. So basically, everybody has it. So my issue is, please protect your thyroid gland. Please try to nurture it and stay away from processed meat, processed wheat and processed meat, processed dairy, and try to eat a lot of vegetables. Get your iodine from natural sources. Drink a lot of water, and don't drink fluoride water. So if your thyroid gland is not working, you will gain weight, you will lose hair, you will age faster, you will get high cholesterol, you get hypertension, you get sleep apnea, you gain weight. There are 54 symptoms of thyroid misfunction. Thyroid dysfunction takes 10 years for doctors to fix it. Sadly, the lab work does not reflect it. So all of my patients who are losing weight, if they have a roadblock, if they have a side effect of severe nausea, vomiting with Ozempic, Monjaro, and all that, the most common reason is their thyroid is not working. They will say, "Oh, Monjaro didn't fit me. Oh, semaglutide, I took it and I puked my guts out. I was throwing up. I couldn't fit." It is all because their body is either very, very inflamed or their thyroid is not working. When your thyroid doesn't work, your body becomes a parking lot for medications and toxins. So please take care of that butterfly.
Yes. I love that. That's such a beautiful butterfly. Well, this has been such an amazing conversation. You have such a wealth of knowledge, and you give it so freely. I thank you so much for being on with me and just talking about life, because this is really life, right? Like how to have a better life,
Yes.
really. So
Thank you for having me. I seriously appreciate you doing this. I seriously want more bang for the buck because we've got a small window where we want to help people, and you're doing an amazing job. I cannot thank you enough for what you're doing all these years trying to educate people. I feel like the money is in public health now. We should do a lot more education. A lot more practitioners need to come forward and share their knowledge about diet, nutrition, and lifestyle and supplements, as much as they're clean and good sources, and try to do that without taking prescription drugs. That is where the future lies.
so where can everybody find you and get in touch with you if they want to set up an appointment?
So I work at National Integrated Health Associates. It's in Friendship Heights in Washington, D.C. And I do have a Utah license, a DC license, and a Maryland license. Usually our first appointments for people who want to come and see me should be in person. But if they're very far away, they cannot come and see me, they badly want to see me, we can try to accommodate them through a televisit, Zoom appointment for the first time, and they can always try to do a follow-up with me. Usually my first and second appointments are long because first one is information heavy, where you're giving me all your life, what happened to you since you were age 12. I do a lot of women's health. So I start with when they were 12 years old, when they got their first period, heading all the way to 60. So we're talking 35, 40 years of this journey that they had with kids and oral contraceptives, IUDs, stress, jobs, education, trauma, abuse, everything goes through that history. And once I get to 60, where they are, then we say, okay, this has all happened in the past, which is how functional medicine circles work. Then I get to go to the root cause. And second appointment is the million labs I told you about. We go through all of them and we explain what caused what and what's going on and where they are and where they need to go.
Okay.
So functional weight loss is functional medicine applied to weight loss. So that is what we do in those 2 appointments. After that, once in 3 months, if you're losing weight, if you're following the diet, taking your supplements, making slow, good, directional lifestyle changes, you don't need me. You can drive the car yourself. You don't need a driver. Yeah.
Good. And I know you said you had a special for our listeners of the podcast for
Yes.
their first visit.
Yes. If anybody wants to see me, I have a summer special, literally a summer special for the next 3-4 months. I normally, an hour visit with me is $450. We're doing a first visit for $300. And follow-up visits will also be discounted based on how heavy their baggage that they are having.
Mm-hmm.
The straight weight loss, we can totally do a lot of change in them, a lot of functional changes in them. They make the changes, they work on their lifestyles, it's easy peasy for them. And follow-ups are usually once in 3 months. So first and second appointments are usually information heavy and lab heavy. After that, it's totally autopilot.
So if you could leave our audience with one powerful message about reclaiming their health and vibrance at any age, what would it be?
I wish it was more than one. Can I give you more than one?
Sure.
Okay. The most important thing I want them to understand is, you all saw Nemo, Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Who's the other character in Nemo?
Dory.
Yeah. So Dory says there's always another way.
Yes.
So please remember, if you're losing faith, losing hope, please remember Dory's statement. There's always another way.
Yeah.
I believe in that 200%, because if you are lost, if you feel like you're not going anywhere, I may not be the only solution for you. Please look for solutions. There's always another way for you to reclaim your health. It need not be conventional medicine. It need not be functional medicine. It need not be integrative medicine. It could be diet. It could be red light therapy. It could be as simple as leaving your job and moving to Florida. Who knows, We never know what works for us. So please always look for a second way. That's the first nugget I want to tell people. Find it. Look for it. It's there.
Yeah.
So look for it. Number 2, please don't compromise your sleep. Please don't compromise it. Your sleep is something you owe it to yourself. Your sleep time, that 7.5 hours, is not yours. You owe it to God. You owe it to yourself. You can put it in any which way you want. Today's biggest epidemic we have is insomnia, especially post COVID. We have destroyed our sleep. We've completely destroyed our sleep. Please take care of your sleep. If you sleep well, your entire day is going to be wonderful.
I remember you telling me that it's between 10 and 4, right? That's when the body detoxes itself.
And the growth hormone too. The growth hormone spike happens at 10:30. So if you don't catch your first bus at 9 o'clock, please catch your second bus around 10:30. After that, it's too late. You missed the bus. And you do that on a long term, you're talking diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, cancer. Not a lot of killers, only 4: diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, cancer. These 4 are enough to kill, pretty much wipe out the entire population on the planet. And the biggest brownie points we get is by sleeping early. Get up early. If you don't want to sleep a lot, that's fine. Get up at 4 a.m. and go and do yoga in the morning. Go read a book. So please sleep at 10. Don't compromise on your sleep. Get 7.5 hours if you can. If not, I'll take 6.5 too.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 important things I would say.
Just keep swimming, like Dory said, right?
Let's keep swimming. Yes.
Just keep swimming.
It's amazing what she said. And the beauty thing is, she forgets things, right?
Yeah.
We should be like that. When you keep remembering a lot of things that were traumatizing to you or troublesome to you, or you take them all to your bedroom, that is all unnecessary burning of cortisol.
It is.
So if you forget things and let go, journal, write down, throw it in the trash can, go to sleep and say, I don't need this. It's in the trash can. I'm done. I'm moving on.
Yes.
It'll save a lot of cortisol for your life.
That's so true. Gotta let that stuff go.
Let that stuff go.
Yeah. Yesterday. Well, thank you again. We'll definitely have to do this again.
Okay.
I love your suggestion of doing something monthly and focusing on specific things because, people need this.
Yes.
And you're so great at it that
I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for doing this, and I'm happy to continue doing this wherever you find a slot for me to provide the education. And you can pick a topic, and we can educate people whatever they want, and we can do a Q&A if they send it to you. You can ask me those questions on their behalf in the podcast, so we have continuous flow of your questions coming and my answers coming for that.
That would be amazing.
Awesome. God bless you.
Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful. And
Thank you,
thank you for listening, and join us on the next episode of Fabulous Women Over 40 and Men.
Thank you for joining us today. Please subscribe so you won't miss our next conscious conversation with Kara and her fabulous guests. Follow Kara on social, on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Clubhouse, at Kara Allan, and connect with her on her website at karaallan.com. Also, leave a review if you enjoyed the conversation. Thanks again, and see you next time.